In today's video, I'm going to talk about the life cycle of digital certificate. As I explained clearly in my previous video, first involves creation. In this process, generation of public and private key. The next one is issuance. You have to prove your identity to the certificate authority. They will validate your identity and provides the certificate. After issuing the certificate, we need to install the certificate and the associated private key. Then usage. Whoever wants to communicate or establish a secure communication, they can pull the public key and start communicating. See, everything has a renewal, expiration date, validity, and all. So, we need to renew the certificate after which they are no longer valid. To avoid disruption in service, certificates need to be renewed before they expire. The next step is certificate revocation. What does it mean? It can be revoked before they expire. This is due to compromise of the private key or change in the certificate holder's identity. Then comes expiration. When a certificate expires, it is no longer valid, cannot be used for online transaction. It needs to be renewed or replaced with a new certificate. Let's see one by one in detail. Let's see how the enrollment process works. You must first prove your identity to the CA, either indirect or via credit report or some other identification by sending via email to the certificate authority. This process is called enrollment. Once they are satisfied with your identity, after receiving confirmation from the CA, you have to provide them a CSR. What is the CSR? Certificate signing request. It should include your public key plus your details of the information. Then the CA review again and start creating a X.50 digital certificate. It contains your identity information, copy of your public key. They will attach and then sign it with CA's private key. Once you receive, you are good to install the certificate wherever you want. There are two types of certificate: domain validation and extended validation certificate. What is this domain validation certificate? It is nothing but a level of identity verification that they perform. It is only for the domain name. CA verifies whether the subject has the control over the domain name. The other one is extended validation certificate. It provides a higher level of assurance and the CA takes steps to verify that the certificate owner is legitimate. Next, we can see the verification process. If the sender want to communicate with another person or server or website, they can verify the following details. The digital signature of the CA is authenticate. Then they trust the CA. The certificate should not listed on the CRL. What is CRL? Certificate Revocation List. It provides the list of certificates that are revoked. The certificate actually contains the data that you are trusting. Once you are satisfied with all these details, then you are good to communicate securely with the other person. Occasionally, certificate authority needs to revocate a certificate. This might occur because the certificate was compromised, the certificate was issued by mistake by the certificate authority, the details of the certificate might be changed, the security association might be changed. What is that? The subject is no longer employed by the organization sponsoring the certificate. You can use three techniques to verify the authenticity of certificate and identify revoked certificate. The first one is certificate revocation list. This is maintained by various certificate authority. It contains the serial number of certificate that have been issued by CA and have been revoked along with the date and time of the revocation. The major disadvantage to the certificate revocation list is that latency, because they must be downloaded and cross referenced periodically, introducing a period of latency between the time of certificate is revoked and the time end users are notified. That is why there is another technique, online certificate status protocol came into picture. OCSP, Online Certificate Status Protocol. This protocol eliminates the latency in the use of certificate revocation list. How? When a client receives a certificate, it sends an OCSP request to the CA OCSP server. The server then responds back with the status of valid or invalid or unknown. Then the browser uses this information to determine whether the certificate is valid or not. The next one is certificate stapling. The web server contacts the OCSP server and receives a signed and time-stamped response from the OCSP server. Then it attaches this certificate to the web browser. Whenever a user requests a secure connection, the web server sends the certificate with the stapled OCSP response to the user. By this way, user browser then verifies the certificate is authenticate and also validates the stapled OCSP response is genuine and recent. Because the CA signed the OCSP response, the user knows that it is from the certificate authority, and the timestamp provides the user with assurance that the CA recently validated the certificate. From there, they can establish a secure communication. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Bye.